be or become a scientist. And as you could have guessed, I want to ask you the question and also answer to me. So everyone who thinks that this should be the case, please raise your hands, and everyone who does not, just leave them down. Okay, so not so many hands, maybe too many scientists in the audience. And I think, as always, it depends just on the definition, right? And I want to share a definition of the Online Science Council with you. And they say, a scientist is someone who systematically gathers and uses research and evidence, making a hypothesis and testing it, to gain and share understanding and knowledge. I also like the German word, which is Wissenschaftler, which is just literally someone who creates knowledge. And so my answer would be yes, absolutely. I mean, everyone should do that, right? But as always, this is not really like the case in the current situation. And a good example is also my PhD, where I have to admit that I was more like on this gaining knowledge side and not really like spreading that much the word of what I've done. And because like all the publications I contributed to were not open access, they were super hard to understand for non-experts, and I just rarely participated in some science outreach or practicals. And they also have a like good citation from one of the biology bachelor students who wrote in an animal physiology course, "I'd rather stab the soldering iron in my eye than preparing the fly." So I'm a fly scientist. So, and also talking to my non-scientist friends, it was always hard to kind of share my work with them, because they even didn't know what neuroscience is actually, like the term. What does neuroscience mean? Which is kind of weird. I mean, we had so many neuroscientists now, and just to convince you how important neuroscience also is that it incorporates all the STEAM disciplines, from mathematics to philosophy to engineering and also arts. But when I was talking to them, I was still just the fly guy. And after that, I thought, okay, I have to change something. And that's where I started a tour. And I became a neuroscience evangelist and started to begin that journey in Catholic South America. And here are the different dots where I had the different locations where I gave workshops, I visited schools and universities, or just organized open conferences. And I put down all my experiences on my travel/science blog. Not really that successfully, but at least it's without ads and also openly available. And after coming back then to Europe, I thought, yeah, maybe just doing it like a bit more systematically. And I started to go to schools, to every kind of schools, especially in Germany, as we have so many different types of it. And then I will just show them with little devices in a plug-and-play manner how to perform an experiment. And as you can see here, I just put in these cables, and now I'm in control of that claw. And with that claw experiment, I can show everyone the principles of neuroprosthetics, and also give them an intuition of how our brain is actually controlling all of our movements. Why our brain is such an important organ. And it's just so complex and has so many neurons like the stars there are in the Milky Way. And I had some nice evaluation sheets after visiting some schools with these kind of gadgets. And one was so excited that he was just writing down on his evaluation sheet, more experiments, and he even forgot to rate my different answers, different questions. And another one in Serbia was even comparing me to Nikola Tesla. Which made me feel like a fraud, but a little bit proud at the same time. And the last thing I wanted to tell you is that this year I'm also organizing a summer school with Backyard Brains for undergraduates and biology teachers from the States, that they can learn how to perform their own experiments and to write that down in a paper with collaboration with Munich scientists to also like give them a way to become a scientist. But my big future plan, I would say, is to build a whole network of scientists, museums and visitor centers and also schools to have a platform where we can bridge that gap between society and science and to make everyone like an easy access to contribute to also science outreach. And therefore you can contact me. I need any help that is possible, and I hope with that I could convince you that maybe not everyone should be or become a scientist, but at least scientists should make it available for everyone to be a scientist for one day.